Hello students, in this session of chapter number 6, that is biomolecules, we are going to learn regarding enzymes. Now enzymes are the biocatalysts. That means enzymes catalyze different types of biological processes as well as reactions occurring inside the cell. So these enzymes accelerate the rate of a reaction. Then these enzymes act on a substrate. Now substrate means it is the substance on which the enzymes act and produce a useful product. For example, fermentation. You know that there are different processes of fermentation. For example, formation of milk into curds is a fermentation process and it is carried out by the bacteria. These bacteria secrete the enzyme and then enzyme convert the milk into curds. So enzymes accelerate the rate of reaction. Then there are different types of enzymes which are produced commercially for different uses by using different kinds of microorganisms. So there are two types of enzymes. The first one is endoenzyme. Now the name itself indicates, endo means the enzymes which act within the cell are called as endoenzymes. And for example, enzymes which are produced in chloroplast, then enzymes produced in mitochondria. Now you know that chloroplast is present in photosynthetic organisms. With the help of this chloroplast, these organisms produce their own food material with the help of photosynthesis. So for this purpose, different enzymes which are produced inside the chloroplast are called as endoenzymes. Then enzymes produced in mitochondria. Now you know that mitochondria is one of the cell organelles which carry the process of respiration inside the cell. Mitochondria is also called as the powerhouse of the cell. So during the process of respiration, different enzymes are essential and these enzymes are produced in the mitochondria. Hence, such enzymes are called as endoenzymes. Then exoenzymes, that means they are produced in the cell but they act outside the cell. Different kinds of fungi as well as microorganisms. Now fungus like yeast secrete enzymes, but these enzymes act outside their body. Hence they are called as exoenzymes. For example, in the production of, you know that different kinds of dairy products are produced. Then bakery products are also produced. So for these bakery products, yeast is used. So this yeast secrete enzyme and it acts outside the cell. Hence such enzymes are called as exoenzymes. Now we will see the nature of enzymes. Now you know that enzymes are biocatalysts which catalyze different kinds of biological processes which occur inside the cell. Then enzymes are purely proteinaceous. That means enzymes contain protein. Then conjugated enzymes means they contain proteins plus non-protein group, or it is also called as prosthetic group. So such enzymes which contain protein as well as non-protein group are called as conjugated enzymes. Then coenzymes are non-protein organic molecules which bind to protein molecule to form active enzyme. So coenzymes are non-protein organic molecules which get joined to the protein molecule and form a active enzyme. For example, NAD. Now NAD means nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is one of the coenzyme. Then FMN means flavin mononucleotide. So these are the coenzymes. Then metal cofactors, or these are called as enzyme activators, like ions of iron, copper, zinc also activate the enzymes and are called as enzyme activators. So they activate enzymes to accelerate the rate of particular process or particular reactions. Now we will see the properties of enzymes. You know that all enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. Then enzymes have three-dimensional conformation. Similarly, enzymes act as biocatalyst and they accelerate or they increase the rate of reaction without changing themselves. That means enzyme cause changes in substrate or a particular substance on which they act. So enzymes cause changes in the substrate, but they do not change themselves and produce useful products. Then small quantity of enzyme can catalyze large quantity of substrate. That means a small amount of enzyme is necessary for catalyzing a large quantity of substrate. Then enzymes are specific. That means specific enzyme acts on a specific substrate or a specific group of substrate only. Then optimum pH is necessary. That means different processes as well as substrates require proper pH. If the pH of the substrate is increased or it is decreased, then the enzyme activity also decreases. So proper amount or proper proportion of pH is necessary for the activity of enzyme. Then temperature is another factor which affects the activity of enzyme. So optimum temperature means proper temperature essential for enzyme activity is about 20 to 35 degrees Celsius. So up to 35 degrees Celsius, that means from 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, the enzyme activity is optimum or it is proper. But when the temperature rises and it rises above 60 degree, then enzymes are destroyed and the process does not occur. So when temperature is lowered, the process is also affected and the enzymes do not act properly. So proper pH as well as proper temperature or optimum pH or optimum temperature are necessary for the proper functioning of the enzymes. So these are the different properties of enzymes. Now we will see the nomenclature of enzymes. Nomenclature means giving particular name to a particular enzyme is called as nomenclature. So nomenclature is based on different criteria. Now first one is by adding suffix, that is ase, to the substrate name. For example, the enzymes which act on proteins are called as protease. The enzymes which act on sucrose are called as sucrase. So enzymes are named by adding the suffix, that is ase, to the substrate on which they act. Then enzymes are also named according to the function. Now the first one is dehydrogenase. That means the enzymes which remove hydrogen from a particular substrate are called as dehydrogenase. Then carboxylase. When carbon dioxide is added to a particular substrate, such enzymes are called as carboxylase. Then when enzymes are responsible for removal of carbon dioxide from the substrate, such enzymes are called as decarboxylase. Then oxidases. Now oxidases means which are responsible for the process of oxidation. So depending upon the function, the name of enzyme is kept. Then enzymes are also named according to their sources. That means from which sources the enzymes are obtained. Now for example, papain is a type of enzyme which is obtained from papaya plant. So enzymes are named by using suffix ASC, then according to their function, then according to the source they are obtained. Now we will see the classification of enzymes. Now the first type of enzyme are called as oxireductases. That means they help in oxidation or reduction reaction. Here is an example. Now alcohol plus NAD. NAD means nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So when alcohol combines with NAD in presence of enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase, then aldehyde and NADH2 are produced. That means hydrogen is removed and it gets added to NAD and NAD is reduced to NADH2. Then second type are called as transferases. Now transferases means they transfer certain groups between the molecules. Now here is one reaction, that is when glucose combines with ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate in presence of enzyme glucokinase. Then glucose 6-phosphate and ADP is produced. That means phosphate is removed from ATP and ATP is converted into ADP and the phosphate gets added to the glucose to produce glucose 6-phosphate. Then the next group of enzyme is hydrolysis. Now hydrolysis are proteases, then lipases and sucrase. Now here sucrose is converted into glucose and fructose in presence of enzyme sucrase. So sucrose is converted into glucose and fructose. That means sucrose is hydrolyzed into glucose and fructose in presence of the enzyme, that is sucrase. Now the next enzyme is lysases. Now lysases cause the removal of group of atoms from the substrate. Now example, histidine. So histidine is converted into histamine and CO2. That means decarboxylation of histidine is carried in presence of enzyme histidine decarboxylase and histamine plus carbon dioxide is produced. Then the next group of enzyme is called as isomerases. Now isomerases catalyze structural rearrangements in certain substances. So this reaction, that is glucose 6-phosphate, is isomerized in presence of enzyme isomerase to fructose 6-phosphate. So this reaction is called as isomerization. That means glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Hence The process is called as isomerization and it occurs in presence of isomerase. Then the next group of enzyme are called as ligases or synthetases. Now here is an example. Now pyruvate plus carbon dioxide plus ATP, that means adenosine triphosphate, in presence of enzyme pyruvate carboxylase produce oxaloacetate plus ADP plus inorganic phosphate. That means carbon dioxide is added to pyruvate and energy is utilized for this process. So the addition of carbon dioxide to pyruvate is called as carboxylation and it occurs in presence of pyruvate carboxylase and produces oxaloacetate plus ADP plus inorganic phosphate. So in this session we have learned regarding the nature of enzyme, then we have learned regarding the properties of enzyme, then we have learned regarding the nomenclature of enzymes and classification of enzymes.